Hello there everyone, and welcome to this edition of Tech Tip Tuesday. I am so glad that you are joining me and watching this video right now, where I'm going to talk for just a few minutes a little bit about Google Drive. Now, most of you have probably heard about Google Docs before, Google Documents, and they've got their own office suite, and I've had it for a while. And I've known about Google Docs since before it was actually useful, which is why I haven't checked on it in a while. But I started looking at Chromebooks and things like that, and stumbled across this new, I don't guess I really stumbled across it because I'm sure a lot of you already know about it, but Google Drive. It works a little bit like Dropbox for Google, in that you can install a desktop client and sync folders worth of files and things to your Google Drive account and to your computer and back and forth. But I don't really want to talk about the Dropbox functionality of it so much as something that I had never thought about, but was very useful. Now, you get only 5 gigabytes to start out with, but that's plenty for me to have uploaded just about every sermon that I could find that I've written since 2008. And as I uploaded them, they converted into and I checked the little box to convert them into the Google Doc format. Now here's what makes this so neat. Other than the syncing capability that you have and the ability to access your files everywhere, you have the ability to Google search your documents. Now that doesn't sound exciting to start with, but if you think about the capabilities of it, it actually is really, really, really exciting, because if you've ever used Windows to search your files, or even the Finder in Mac to see what your documents have had before in them, then you can testify to the fact that it's not the most helpful search. But Google will actually search inside the documents, and what we can do is sort of a reverse citation search. So let's just say I wanted to see what I'd said about 1 Peter 3:21. Now I'm putting this in quotation marks because I want to make sure that I'm not just searching for every instance of 1 Peter or every instance of any other book that has 3:21 as a reference after it for anything else. I want to put that whole citation in quotation marks and just search that citation. And the only problem with this is I tend to abbreviate book names. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a Boolean search term in, the OR search term, and I'm going to put 1 PET 3:21 in quotation marks as well. And what this is going to do is it's going to search all of my documents for any occurrence of either 1 Peter 3:21 or 1 PET 3:21. Now notice with me what happens when I hit the button here. Now, I had quite a few documents pop up that had these references in it, and if I wanted to go to one, all I would have to do is, let's say I'll click on what I believe about salvation right here, and if I want to find out where it is in here, I hit Control F, I hit 1 PET, and see, there's my reference. Now, that's where I talked about baptism for the remission of sins. That's the one instance that it shows up. So you get the idea. Now, you can also, well, before I show you one other thing, let me show you why you want to make sure you do this Boolean search term for things. Let's just delete the OR. Now you see how many options we've got right here? If I search this, now I've lost some. Or if I just search the 1 PET 3:21, now I've got it down to 4. So use those Boolean search terms. Or what about this? I want to see what I've said about mercy. Now if I just type in mercy, I'm getting a ton, but I can tell by the titles here, some of them are going to be more about grace than anything else. So what I want to do is, since I probably just mentioned mercy in passing in some of these, I want to subtract the word grace from that. And now I've narrowed it down to some that will probably talk more about mercy, and I can go in and find the word mercy and see what I said about it within those. One other thing you do along that, what if I said, I'll throw another search term out there, sinner's prayer. Now obviously I'm not teaching that somebody should do it, but I've probably talked about not doing it. Yep, running from a lion met by a bear, lesson I did last year, and I did not talk about that in kind terms. But I know what I said about it right there, and I can go back and look it up. So think about this, just about everything that you have studied that you put into this, and I want you to notice what all it searches, not just Google Docs, but all of the PDFs that you have, that are in there. It will search them, any presentations that you have text in, and so forth and so on. Those will be searchable and visible. And the thing is that you don't have to restudy information by doing this. You can take what you have studied in the past and make it available to you in the present. And I hope that you will see this as being a very, very valuable study tool. It took me a couple of hours to get everything transferred into Google Drive, but I think that for my own personal study is going to be more than worth it. I'm going to have a few more videos about Google Drive and probably Chromebooks and things like that coming up in the not too distant future, but until then, thank you for watching this. I hope that this benefits your ministry in some way, and if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, and join me the next time that we have another Tech Tip Tuesday.